In this presentation, I'll be talking about our class's trip to the National Etruscan Museum in Villa Giulia. Right as you enter the museum, you are greeted by a large and beautiful courtyard looking into the Ninfeo. Right away, you are overarched by beautiful paintings all along the walls and the ceilings of the walkway. I really liked this in the beginning because it drew me into the museum and grabbed my attention right away. When you enter inside, there is a big board explaining who the Etruscans were. You are also started to be introduced Etruscan artwork from their time period. I really liked this section because it had a lot of visual pictures to help me understand what I was looking at. We then worked our way down this long hallway with Etruscan artifacts all along each side. The long hallway all leads toward one main piece of artwork at the very end. This design is so the viewer focuses attention on this main piece of artwork. I was taken away by the detail and precision of this pottery and all the other artifacts. We then worked our way downstairs and saw La Toma del Letto Funebre. You can tell by looking at it which parts had been lost over time or had need to be restored. We made our way back to the long hallway and finally arrived at the main piece of artwork I alluded at before. The name of this piece of artwork was the Sarcofago degli Sposi. I really enjoyed the technique in this artwork. I also really liked how you could tell by the back of their hair that they were Etruscan people. We then made our way to a shorter hallway with more Etruscan artwork all along the sides. It had a similar design technique to the other longer hallway, as all of it pointed toward this one main artwork. We then worked our way down this long corridor full of ancient Etruscan artifacts like all of these here. The way they're able to conserve all the detail on this artwork really blows my mind. After exiting the corridor, you are greeted by another piece of large artwork. You can tell the restoration done on this piece of artwork if you look and see how the middle is completely split in half. Next to that piece of artwork is a long hallway full of Etruscan pottery. I really liked the pottery itself, but the way the hallway was designed, I felt very overwhelmed and couldn't even focus on the pottery I wanted to. You then enter this room with really vibrant colors that pop out right at you. I personally really liked the way the yellow contrasted the black and white photos on the wall. This room was very interesting as the artwork like this was very different from the rest of the artwork we were looking at in the museum. You then enter this beautiful jewelry room. It was really interesting to me to see how luxury jewelry has changed over time because when I went to the Louvre, the jewelry on display was all sparkly, glistening diamond jewelry, and here the jewelry is golden and a lot different. Then we worked our way back downstairs to see more ancient Etruscan artifacts. This image of an ancient Etruscan artifact goes back to what I was saying about how I really liked how they added all the visuals to help me understand what I was learning. Lastly, on your way out you get to see the Ercole and Apollo statues. It was really cool how they left a statue that was getting worked on out on display so everyone can see how the restoration process is done. Although I had a couple pointers, overall I really liked the museum and felt like I learned a lot.